What are you doing, babe?
Going live. Doing a tattoo talk and that. Which I need to get a external DVD player one of these days again for my laptop so I can use these. For people to come on. Hey y'all, welcome. We're just going to do a little talk about the different books and everything throughout the years that I've used and the different programs. So, if you want, you guys can put it in comments. I'm just going to talk a little bit here and there. So, my first book that I ever got was that book. Gave you the basics of using a coil machine. It back then was, I think like 30-40 bucks for it, but it talked about how to set your machine, how to deal with the diseases and all that, how to prep, and it also gave you different types of things. So I'll show here in a second. I'll flip it so that people can see. So I'll give you all about what it basically consisted of for the book. So we're just going to talk about tattoo topics, the differences and everything. So I got this book back in, like I said, 2016, 17 is when I got it, something around there. I think it was 16 because I was getting my apprenticeship back then. I still don't have my license because life got in the way, but I still do it as a hobby at home. But I mean, I like to hear from the people watching the different things you guys want to talk about, because this is what this one was about, was just talking about the different stuff. If you have any questions, you can ask. I can give you a basics. I have used all different types of machines. So coil machine was my first that I started in 2016. Then about 17, 18, I went to rotaries, which I have on my channel for the little setup video for short and regular. And then I also use pen machines. So I've used all three types. Me personally, if I had a way, well, I do have a way. I like coils because it doesn't have the hard hitting like a pen machine. And even the original rotaries didn't actually have that hard hitting. So for me, I've learned how to deal with how to compensate for it more of. So with a pen machine, to me, is that it doesn't give the give because it is a rotary, so it doesn't have that spring action. But I do own a hybrid version which has the springs and a rotary, so it has both the give. Nevaeh, please stay out. You can have a hug, but come on, go play. Thank you. But we'll go through a couple of the different books that I have, and I'll show you guys. So this was one of the books that I own. It's from Hildebrandt. They still do make machines. So if you ever are interested in, this actually came with my rotaries set that I have. And so how to tattoo set up your machine, your basics, just to get you through. Now I would advise anybody learning do not do human skin until you actually learn and are able to set up, being sanitary, following your bloodborne pathogens, all that. But I will give you guys the basics. At least, like I said, we're going to talk about these. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask. I have no problems answering what I actually do know. I've been, like I said, been doing this since 2016. I just don't. I tattoo myself, but I can't tattoo anybody else. So, but I can give tips and tricks of what I have learned. So the different setups. Now this is dealing more with coil machines because they are actually the ones where you have to tune the most and to set up. If you want to talk about pen machines, I mean, that's easy. There's nothing really to them. You just got the pen, the battery pack, and then the cartridge. I mean, pretty simplistic. Obviously, we'll have the pen machine bag, which is different than the coil machine bag. Coil machine bag is square, pen machine bag is cylinder. So there are differences. So you have to buy the right safety barriers for each machine. The best thing that's about pen machines that I will say today is that if you're traveling for tattooing, you at least do have where you have less things to worry about. So the other thing I wanted to bring up, now this also came with my book. So this is an actual DVD and it goes through the different steps. And I do have to actually buy an external DVD because my computer that I bought a couple years ago does not have it anymore. Because for some weird reason, we decided to be a country or where we basically got rid of DVDs, which I don't agree with. Hi, Just Truth. Thank you for coming. This is another one that I've had. This actually came, I think, with my basic tattoo book. And then obviously the Holy Flash came with it too. Which, it is important to learn. That's the thing. Me personally, I believe that if you're learn about the Flash. Now, I've had this book for, let's see here, I've been out almost 10 years, and I've had this book when I was still locked up. So I've had this book since 2012, I think. So what it does, it goes through the actual history of tattoos. So from the early 1900s for Flash and all that. So it does have that. Some of the Japanese, Polynesian, American traditional to some of the older stuff. I mean, if you guys can see that. I do plan on these days of getting actual other people that's in the tattoo community together, where once a week or once every couple weeks here and there of that we get together online and talk to the community as a whole. That is my goal. It's a little hard for YouTube, but I mean, that is where I want us as artists that love tattooing to work together and try to find a happy medium between each other of trying to get on each other's lives and talk about the different aspects. Now, there has been a couple, like, I've downloaded a lot of things over the years. So there are many instances of different types of how a person tattoos. But there are basics that you still need to follow for tattooing. Just like for standard practices for... Oh, hi, Queen. You're good. But like I said, there's still simple practices that you have to follow through so that you ensure the client or yourself where it's going to be a good lasting tattoo. Now, I have tattooed myself. There are some that are great, there are some that are bad. Now, the in professional wise, I mean for bad. Now, me, I don't regret my tattoos, no matter what. Even if they are not the best quality because I screwed up with my application or vice versa. I got two on my legs, one on each thigh, that have meaning to me. But I'm not going to discredit because it's still a learning process. Now, when I was working for the shop, what's up, Irish? Hey, I might be actually able to get you up on here if you want. Let's see. Might be able to. Let's see here if I can get people on this, or do I have to do it on through the computer? I might have to do it that way. I'm not 100% sure. Right now I'm on my phone. Right now we're talking about the histories and stuff like that. Ah, okay, Irish. So I was talking about Holy Flash, which I've had this for almost 10 years now. And Flash, I will say, is very important for people. You need to know on what can become a good tattoo, because there are a lot of designs out that doesn't make it a good tattoo. And I'm even honest about it. There are some of my designs that aren't going to become a good tattoo. But you have to find the happy medium. So another book I've had since for a long time, which actually helped a lot. And that's this one. I don't know if you guys can get it anymore. I don't even know if they're even in business anymore. But I've had this for, holy crap, how long has it been? Crap. Let me look quick. I'll switch it over. I've had this one for a long time. So it was printed in 2014. So I've had this book for over 10 years. So, I mean, there is a lot that we could talk about. So talking about history. Now, a good history book that I would suggest of looking into is this book. It's actually a very good book of learning your history on tattoos. It gives very quick details, yes, but it gives you a rough round of the different styling and of those that came before us. So, like you can see, there's a lot. What's up, Crest? One of these days I'm going to do a live where y'all can come up and panel and everything and we could talk about it. But I mean, there's pictures from back then. I mean, from all the different types, styles. There's the socks. I mean, I just love the history of tattoos. It's interesting. It's always made. That's what got me into this. I mean, we can go on and on about the old days and what has come from today. Even, I mean, there's so even for today's, like, I don't know. I think 90s is where tattoo artists started making just amazing work. I can't show half of these because they're the actual Japanese ones, but I can show some of these. All right, for instance, that. This is from the 90s, and like, look at the detail. Yeah, we understand that it's about 11 maybe 14 inches, give or take, about that tattoo design. But I mean, for that picture, like, that's just amazing.
Just have to.
And then some of the realism stuff. I mean, that I would say about 8 inches, give or take, about what that would be. But yeah, I mean, like, tattoos to me were what really, I don't know, it was a rites of passage. Look at that. And like I said, there's so many different things. But I think the late 80s, early 90s is where we started doing a lot of more realistic and, like, don't get me wrong, traditional I will always love. There's some things that I don't like, and I'm honest about it, but it's not for everyone. But I do believe that you should learn how to draw flash and everything. And if you're learning with coils, I recommend this book. It is one of the best books. Now, granted, like I said, this book is almost 10 years old as itself. So, actually older than that. This book was published in 2008 to 2011. So, it might not even be viable anymore. But it gives you a good basics on everything. And like I said, I might next time get people on the panel where we can get things set up and have people come on, because it'd be nice to talk to others and to have like a little meeting thing once a week or once every 2 weeks, give or take, and talk about tattoos and talk about what we've been doing and reviewing things. I mean, I'd have to talk to more people to see what they would like to do and get things set up. But yeah, if there's any questions, just let me know. And we'll end this live for now, and we'll see what we can all come up. By the way, the other thing I wanted to bring up, if you want, let's see here if I can do it on, no, I can't do it on my phone, but if you want, we can get things where I can get things set up and we can get suggestions from the community, start working together. That's my goal. I've been talking to a couple of artists on YouTube, and yeah, let's get this together. My email's underneath my profile. If you guys want, we can get this going. All right, y'all. Now, I just wanted to give an update, talk about a little bit of things. And we'll go from there. You guys have a good night and take care. Blessings to all y'all. Later. Oh, crap. I can actually send a link. We can get this popping already. All right. I'll send this link to you. Get you on here. I'm not sure. Be cool if I could. Might not work. I don't know.